All right, this is the next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussions. Continue our retro pay-per-view review series. Gonna be In Your House 16, the Canadian Stampede. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank. Man, let's get into this, man. Everybody in that Saddle Dome had to be a Hart family member or related to them because there
Pretty
was a
much.
lot of them this
Yeah.
night. This was actually one of my favorite In Your Houses because never have I heard, with the exception maybe of Mankind winning the title in 1999, have I ever heard an ovation so grand.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Once Brian Pillman came out and got the crowd going, I have never heard a crowd
They
so
said it was like
into it.
shaking. They said it felt like it was shaking.
I believe it, especially in
The
Calgary.
crowd, the crowd was
They
so
they
loud.
they were so into it. I
Yeah,
couldn't believe it.
pretty cool to see. Pretty cool to see.
This was this, like I said, this is one of my favorite In Your Houses,
Yeah.
mainly because of the main event.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But it could have been better. I'll get to the reason why. July 6th, 1997, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. 12,151 Hart family members probably on hand. Okay, maybe 7,000. You had Vince McMahon, Ross, and Jerry Lawler wearing the ridiculous hat that you couldn't even see through. They went overboard, I think, a little bit with the cowboy stuff, but
Well, that's because the
it
Canadian
was
Stampede
it
was
was
going
cheesy
on.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah, there's it's a big thing that happens every year. It's like how they have the rodeo in Texas.
yeah,
They
yeah.
have their own thing up there too. So
So we do have a replacement in this one. It was supposed to be the Undertaker defending the title against Ahmed Johnson, the
yep.
newest member of the nation, but he got hurt for the 9,000th time.
He turned.
So
So what happened was
he's replaced by Vader.
he
Yeah,
turned on Undertaker. That's what happened. Him and Undertaker
yeah.
teamed up. He turned on Undertaker. He turned heel, and then he got injured the same night that he turned heel. And then he
Jesus.
joined the same night he turns heel, joins the nation. He gets injured, and so
Then he comes back and they boot him out.
pretty much.
Oh my God. This was insane, but at least we get an old rivalry renewed. Vader is now the number one contender for the championship.
Poor
I'm
Vader.
not so sure that Undertaker Ahmed match would have been good. I don't know.
It probably would have been bad.
That's what I'm thinking.
I
So
don't know.
at least we got this where we still have the Paul Bearer thing because now they've mentioned the whole family, the brother. You know, things are in motion come October.
Hmm.
So all right, here we go. Our opening match was yet another mid-card feud back then, which would turn into one of the Hall of Fame rivalries of all time. You had Mankind against Hunter Hearst Helmsley with China. Once again, we get who would have known 3 years from now these guys would have one of the
Hmm.
craziest sets of matches leading into WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was
I
good
mean,
stuff.
this is insane. Yes, it really was. Triple H is now coming into his own. He's got the Amazon with him, which always helps. Mankind is now, I guess he's crossed the fan favorite because they did the whole interview documentary. They showed all that stuff that he loved and all that nonsense. Between the
I think
last three houses.
I think he was because he wasn't he trying to get Austin to pick him to team up with him.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
I would have picked that. Well, I'll get to that later. I'm not going to get into that now. This match was actually pretty good. I liked it. I liked the deception, with the referee, not being able to see what's going on. Before the match, they showed up what led up between these two. They had a knockdown drag out at the King of the Ring, and so it leaked over
Yep.
here to the In Your House. And typical of Triple H and China, getting away with stuff. Mankind tried to use a chair on the outside against Helmsley. The referee says no. Watching him, I should say, China stopped him. The referee gets distracted. Helmsley uses the chair with the referee distracted, and then when the referee goes to Helmsley, China clotheslines Mankind. We got a 2-on-1 here.
Yep.
So
Damn it, China.
I liked it. I don't care. I'll say it. I was a Helmsley fan. Yes, he buried people over the years, but who didn't? Come on.
Well, he
Find me
actually
a main eventer that didn't bury somebody.
the problem, and I've said this before, the problem is that he was with the boss's daughter. So unlike everybody else, he had a little extra power that other guys never had. So
And I think he was also walking on eggshells because,
yeah.
God forbid, he pisses off the boss's daughter. She goes to the boss. You no longer work here.
Yeah.
So I think that's got to be, if anything, stressful as well. But it worked out for them. So this match ended and I liked it because this was going throughout half the night. It ended in a double count out. I mean, these guys were just beating the crap out of each other everywhere. They went into the penalty box. which I thought was cool.
Well, it keeps on going through it. Yeah,
Oh
that was
yeah,
pretty cool. What was the
the
hockey?
whole
Hockey.
the whole night.
Hockey. Yeah.
Yeah, considering you're in the Saddle Dome,
Yeah.
Calgary Flames play
That
there.
was pretty
Why
good. That
not
was
go
pretty
in there?
funny. But it does continue throughout the pay-per-view. They continue fighting.
Oh yeah, several times during
Yeah.
matches you're going to see these guys just constantly
Hmm.
beating the crap out of each
Yeah.
other, and
That was
I'm
cool. That was
like,
good. That was good.
I wish it would have actually went. Once the main event is over, then all of a sudden they go to another camera angle, and these guys are still beating the shit out of each
Yeah.
other. So, but this won't be the last time, like you said, that I mentioned what they're doing. Following this match, they showed the Canadian Stampede parade, Miss Calgary. I wouldn't have picked her. And then Doc Hendricks interviewed the Hart Foundation, and
Hmm.
then obviously Austin interrupted that. The Calgary Stampede thing was actually cool to see with the wrestlers getting involved, the tug of war, all that stuff. Obviously you're not going to see Austin and Triple H, Austin and Bret Hart doing anything together, but it was cool to see the Miss Calgary thing. But I did like the interview when Austin interrupts them and whatnot. So this is a heated rivalry that's going to continue to go. So following this now, oh boy, this was the light heavyweights now that Vince is starting to bring in. This is the wish list of the cruiserweights. Amazon's at WCW, unfortunately.
Pretty
He
much.
tried, but his light heavyweight division was almost like I would compare it to the women's division that he had. All he did was bring these guys in for a one-off, and that's it. They're gone.
You know what's funny?
Agila,
I
Satsuki. I mean,
rewatching this, I completely forgot there was even a lightweight heavyweight division or title.
yeah.
I didn't remember it.
It actually went, I believe, 4 years because it was there through the
Yeah.
invasion. I
But they
know
weren't
that.
even really they weren't even on fighting on pay-per-views mostly. They
No,
were like they were like
they
or
were
at
fighting
least
on Raw.
I guess like I shouldn't say that because I don't know how but the title changes I know happened like on Raws and stuff like that. It wasn't really
The inaugural championship match is on,
yeah.
and then I believe
This was their answer to it.
uh, not the next in your house, the one after that, I
Yeah.
believe. But yeah, this was their answer to WCW, which wasn't good. The only guys that stuck around was Taka Michinoku because they signed him to a 10-year contract, and boy, did they dread that. And then Brian Christopher and Scott Taylor. Those pretty much are the only three guys that stuck around, but everybody else was a one and done, unfortunately.
Nobody cared.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, there were some good matches. WrestleMania 14, Taka and Aguila did have a decent match. They did show their aerial moves, but it's not watching Rey Mysterio versus Juventud Guerrero. So
Not even
that's
close.
why no.
Not even close.
So this was Taka Michinoku versus the Great Sasuke, and I mean the match was good. It showed some aerial stuff. The fans weren't into it. You could tell from the get go. Even if they did something aerial, it was like yeah. So they weren't familiar with these guys up in Canada. Unfortunately. This was
None of us
probably not
were.
the
I don't think
venue.
any of us were either.
No, I most of these light heavyweights. If you ask Mike today, he probably knew.
Right, yeah, but they didn't know. It
But
wasn't like
yeah, I was shocked when I saw that they were even putting in a light heavyweight division, and this probably wasn't the venue to have them on it up in Canada. I mean, they don't know them, they're not familiar with it. Maybe the next in your house, but I mean, it ended with a bridge suplex pin. Sasuke beats Taka, which is a shock to me because Taka was the guy that they were. He was pretty much the Roman Reigns of the light
oh
heavyweight
Jesus
division because
Christ.
and it's not saying much considering you only have like four guys there, but he's the guy that
Yeah,
they eventually put the title on.
right.
He was the guy that they wanted the light heavyweight to take off with the division, and unfortunately that didn't work out. I think like three and a half years later he's out
Come
the
on
door.
there. See you.
The only guy that lasted was from the Kaientai was Funaki. That ain't saying much either. But during this match, or actually before this match, they showed that Helmsley and Mankind were still fighting
Mhm.
around the thing. And now, even after this match, now they're in the parking lot beating the
Yeah.
hell out of each other with the beer kegs and stuff. Finally, they got them split up, but this rivalry is nowhere near over. So, following this, they showed, like we mentioned before, 2 weeks ago when Ahmed Johnson got hurt in a street fight. Oh, Jesus. Doc Hendricks then interviewed Paul Bearer and Vader, who Vader is now his replacement in the
Yeah,
match. And they talked about Taker killing his family,
yeah, Paul Bearer.
and then showed
You killed your
yeah,
killed
good.
your entire family.
But your brother's alive,
Oh yeah,
Undertaker. Here we go.
because
So
like
this is
before,
the
so like
start of
before
Kane.
this, because some of this stuff I haven't seen in a while. Before he was basically blackmailing Undertaker, right? So Undertaker had to do his bidding, because
Mhm.
that's why he teamed up with Vader in that tag team match versus the Nation. I remember, and then Undertaker just said, "Ah, the hell with this." He tried to walk out, and then Vader attacked him, and that's why they had this match.
Yeah,
Besides the fact that Ahmed was injured, they set it up where Vader attacked him after the tag team match.
they had a good contingency plan in place, which was this one was better. And there was even times where Undertaker had to have Paul Bearer at ringside with him because of he was
Right,
holding this
right.
over his head.
Paul Bear had a different look. He had like his regular normal look. He wanted to do that. He wanted to do something different, which was it was a good change, like just to try to,
Get the makeup off his face,
yeah, yeah,
the
different.
actual hair
Yeah,
color.
yeah, it was cool to do something different. And
He looked good.
the whole though, what's funny too is when he talks about we find this out later on. I've mentioned this before. The whole thing about Kane, Undertaker killed his parents. When Undertaker turned heel, he admits that he killed his parents and that he tried to kill Kane. And then when he turns babyface, it's just forgotten. It never happened.
Naturally.
Yeah. But he
That's
killed his parents.
usually how it happens.
Paul Bear was, it turned out Paul Bear was telling the truth the whole time.
Yep.
So,
Uh, it was good storytelling.
oh,
I'll
it
give
was
it that.
great. No, it was great. It's great.
And Paul Bearer had this look for like a year maybe because then when all of a sudden he's when Kane's a babyface and Paul Bearer is managing him again, he's got the black hair
Right.
back
Yeah.
with the red sport coat and stuff. I like that. I
Yeah.
liked when the two of them were together. He was a fan favorite.
Yeah, 'cause he was
So
his father. He was Kane's father. When was that revealed? I don't even remember. Do you remember offhand?
sometime in '98, I think they mentioned it, or
Yeah,
even it could have even been during the storyline. Like it's a long time ago.
yeah.
Somebody commented and
Yeah,
let us know because
yeah,
we're not wizards. We don't know everything.
yeah.
A
Paul Bear.
lot, and a lot of things are going on between and now in the Attitude Era.
It was
So
his half brother. Yeah, that's right. Jesus Christ.
yeah, they would half fight each other, half team with each other. They didn't know what they wanted to do over the years. I loved it.
That was
One
great.
pay-per-view they're wrestling each other, the next pay-per-view they're teaming together. How many times they had a feud, two WrestleMania matches, and the last time they had the feud was 13 years ago when Kane was the World Heavyweight Champion, and he actually got over on the Undertaker in several pay-per-views, and that's when Undertaker said, "All right, I'm only doing WrestleManias. I'm done."
Yeah.
But this feud went on love hate for 13 years. I wouldn't be surprised if we got one more between these two. You never
Please,
know.
please no.
But the one interesting thing I like that they showed during this interview is the fact that Vader beat the Undertaker at the Royal Rumble.
Well,
That
Paul,
played
did you notice
that played
that?
key in this.
Did you notice Paul Bear almost killed himself hitting Undertaker? He busted his ass. He fell down when he hits him. Well, he hits him with the urn, right? And he busts his
Yeah.
own ass.
Oh my God, that's funny. Big boy needs to lose some weight. I'll tell
Yeah.
you that much. But in any event, uh, our next match obviously now is for the WWE Championship. It's the Undertaker defending the title against Vader, and this match was actually pretty good. Although there was one mistake in it, one very big mistake was that Vader botched the Tombstone reversal.
Yeah.
They fell down because they couldn't do it because Vader freaking weighs too much.
He weighs a lot and he's sweaty and it's a mess.
This is the downhill Vader, unfortunately.
But I can't believe Undertaker got him up in the tombstone.
Yeah, I bet his back was hurting after that.
Vader helps him though. If you watch it, Vader does help him. But still, I mean, it's a tremendous.
Well, guys weighing that much should jump into the move.
But he still had to hold him. That's a tremendous feat of strength, man. I was surprised Taker was able to. I was scared for Vader. I thought he was going to drop him.
Yeah. There was a little concern in this match because this is, like I said, this is not Vader from 1 year ago. This is a Vader that's gained more weight.
Yeah,
he's out of shape. The only thing I feel bad for, and I've said this before, is through 1998, at least he wrestled up until at least I believe the September In Your House. Everything was a loss.
Yeah, the Vader time was over by then. Yeah,
he tried to feud with Kane. He tried that didn't work. But then he's losing to guys like Bradshaw.
Didn't Kane break his face?
Yeah, with the wrench.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. And that was when Kane was wrestling in the red light.
Right.
which
that
I
didn't
didn't
last
like
very
to.
long. Yeah.
I didn't like that. I didn't like when Bray Wyatt did it either when he was the Fiend. It just bothered me for some reason. I don't know why. So, but getting back to this match, besides the botch and the other thing, it was pretty good, average. I'm trying to be nice. Vader did go for the Vader bomb. Taker got up. Vader finally realized it. Taker low blowed him. Referee sees it, pays no mind to it. He hit him with the choke slam off the top turnbuckle. That is strength, but obviously, I think Vader kind of pushed off on that. I think you can see his feet kind of push away from it.
Still pretty good.
Yeah. What's funny is when they finally got it, Vader helped him. He ran into the tombstone and got them for the pin. So, Stamp this feud is done. Taker's beaten him. Unfortunately, this is the last successful title defense for The Undertaker on pay-per-view. And I'm going to get to that in a minute because I don't think the title should have been on the line for this one. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. Following this match, they showed what the Hart Foundation had done over the course of time. I should say what Brett has done over the course of time and what led up to the main event. I love how when they interviewed Austin's team, Goldust is like, I'm the guy that put this together. I'm like, you're funny.
No. Well, the thing is, for those that don't know, this was supposed to be Sid, but Sid got injured. He was in a car accident. So that's why he was supposed to be on that team, which would have made a lot more sense because it was a team of all badasses. Goldust looked completely out of place. Nothing against Goldust. He just didn't fit
in. He's the odd man out.
Yeah. And this is the third. This is the third in your house that Sid is missing out on because of injuries, because he was supposed to fight Bret Hart at Revenge of the Taker, and then a cold day in hell he was supposed to fight Mankind. So now there's yet another in your house. He comes back for King of the Ring he was in, I remember.
Yeah, 6-man tag.
And then he gets injured again, and then he sticks around for a little bit longer, then he's gone.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for him. And now the reason why I say Undertaker shouldn't have defended the title, there's two guys that I think could have been in this match that would have made more sense and added to the intensity. Now you could have added the Undertaker since he's already feuding with the Hart Foundation because we know that Brett's going to SummerSlam to face him, or Shawn Michaels. But obviously, they're not going to put Michaels in the match.
Well, the reason why Shawn wasn't in the match is because he took his ball and went home again. After he got into the fight with Bret Hart backstage, he went home. He said it was an unsafe work environment. Then he doesn't show up to SummerSlam. So right before SummerSlam, I should say, he wouldn't even be a referee.
This was right around the time. I know King of the Ring, he was co-holder of the tag titles. I believe they lost it shortly after that.
Well, they didn't lose it. He just, I think,
they dropped it. Yeah.
Sean, yet another time he refuses to wrestle and they relinquished the titles. So that was stemming from the whole Sunny Days comment, and they got into the backstage. Him and Brett got into the backstage fight, and then Sean takes off. So that's why he's not here, and Sid because of an injury.
Exactly. So putting the Undertaker in might have made a little bit more sense than Goldust because, like you said, you got a bunch of badasses in there.
It probably would have, but I think the reason why they didn't is because the whole Paul Bearer Kane thing was starting up, so it was like they wanted to kind of focus on that Undertaker in a separate story with that.
Yeah. Anybody but Goldust. How about that? Adam Bomb's still there?
No, Jesus.
No, he's not. Jarrett's not there yet either, so can't put him in it. Anybody but Goldust. That's my thing. Anybody but Goldust. It just didn't make sense. He didn't really
fit in. Great wrestler, but he just didn't fit in.
Yeah, exactly. He is. I'm not taking anything away. Just in this match, it didn't make sense. So now the match now, we got the main event. It's the Hart Foundation. You got Brett, Owen, Bulldog, Pillman, and Neidhart versus Steve Austin, the Legion of Doom, Ken Shamrock, and Goldust. Now,
Ken Shamrock in his own.
Yeah,
and I used to love when he used to say that
with his actual music now. Because if you notice in the first his first In Your House, they had some cheesy music for him. Now he's got the actual
the Zone. I used to love when he used to say that, man.
Knuckle up. Good, well, because he had at this time, I believe he was also feuding with Bulldog, which helped put him into this feud. And then, of course, the Legion of Doom with Owen and Bulldog, and Austin. Well, we already know. So before the match, they had Farmer's daughter, whoever they are, sing the Canadian national anthem. They weren't bad. Sounded nice. Then they recognized the premier, Ralph Klein, sitting next to the Hart family. And I love now all of a sudden, the last pay-per-view, Lawler is with Brett. Now he's not.
Well, because the Hart family is there, and now Brett's a babyface. Remember that.
That
was the thing. For those that don't know, in Canada, Bret Hart was a babyface. But in the States, He was a
He was
heel.
a heel.
So
Yep.
now he's got to go, which was really cool, man. You know what I thought about during this match, man? Could you imagine if it had been Bret Hart, the Canadian Hero, versus Kurt Angle when he was
Oh
doing his whole USA
man,
thing? How great! I mean, besides the fact that he's two a great
they would have
wrestler,
tore the house down.
it would have been tremendous. It would
That's a
that would have been cool.
WrestleMania main event.
Yeah, that would have been cool to see. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be.
Nope.
But
There's
the
quite a few matches that weren't meant to be.
yeah, the and then Brian Pillman had he had a story with the Hitman clan with the Hearts and everything because I believe he did train up in
Hmm.
Calgary. I believe he did train in the dungeon. So that's
Yeah.
how he fit into this squad.
Yeah, before this, he was like the Sami Zayn to the Bloodline. He wasn't an official member of the Hearts, but now he was.
And he fit in though.
Oh yeah, he did.
He fit in. Loose cannon,
And
man.
and when they came out, now Austin and everybody came out first. They're all getting booed. Of course, Austin don't give a shit. He's cursing everybody out. When Brian Pillman came out, the
Yeah,
pop
it was
that
crazy.
oh my god, I have never heard a pop more loud. Maybe when Mankind won the title in '99 on Monday Night Raw, but when he started getting them going,
Yeah. No, it's up there. It's up there with Hogan at WrestleMania 18 in Toronto.
yeah,
And even the night after
hmm
when he came out on Raw in Canada. Yeah.
they would have blown the roof off of this, and then it just got louder after that. Neidhart comes out, Bulldog comes out with
Yeah, no, it was
Miss
great.
Miss Canada, who's doing the
They all came
lovey-dovey
out to
thing
their
a little too much.
Yeah, they all came out to their individual music too. Even Owen had his old song.
I loved it.
Owen came out to his song too.
When Anvil came out, I was like, he had a theme.
Yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, apparently he did. I didn't remember that,
But yeah, Owen comes out to the old one, and Bulldogs, clapping along with it, and then here comes Brett,
hmm
and here we go.
The ovation.
Oh my God! They come down to the ring. You got the Hearts all at ringside.
Mm-hmm.
He gives his mom the
whole
glasses.
Hart family. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Lawler's like, do they come in bifocals?
You know what I like too
It's
when
classic.
oh no, I'll get to it at the end of the match. Go ahead.
But I mean, the whole ovation they get, and of course they're dominating the first part of the match. They have to. Austin's being thrown all over the place as if he was the heel.
The crowd was going crazy. Like when Austin would do something, they would boo, and then when Brett would do something, they would cheer.
Yep.
The crowd makes this event. It's just.
It was also cool that in 1997 they went half the time they were up in Canada.
Yeah, they were in Canada a lot. Yeah.
So to kind of even it out for Bret Hart, which was I thought was really cool. And I mean, this match you got everything in it that you wanted, that you could possibly have. Even the fake hurt skits, because Owen and Austin both get hurt, both have to leave.
They have to leave. Yeah.
The Doomsday Device on Owen Hart. I mean, later on, Owen and Austin come back.
You know what I wanted to see though that didn't happen, man? We saw a split second of it where Anvil grabs, I forgot who he grabbed, and Brett does an elbow. I wanted to see the heart attack, man.
Yes.
They should have given us the heart.
I thought that's what they were going to do because they said shades of the old
Shades
Hart
of the Heart
Foundation.
They should have given us a heart attack on somebody. How awesome would that have been?
Why did they give us the decapitation?
He just does the elbow, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted exactly the heart attack.
Should have given us the heart attack on somebody. Damn it, man!
Watching Brett and Anvil tag each
other
was cool,
old
man. School.
Yeah. I don't know.
Not to mention, we got to see them face the Legion of Doom. Now, granted, this is not 1990 Legion of Doom,
but still,
they got in the ring together. A little flat, old school there. I mean, you got a little bit of everything in this match, which was great. Even Austin putting the sharpshooter on Brett.
Yeah.
I loved it. Now, of course, the wild child down at the ringside, Bruce Hart, has got to get involved not once but twice.
Did you see how he was refusing to sell? He was no selling everything.
Exactly.
He had to get in the middle of everything and put the spotlight on him. He's done this in the past too.
Bruce, yeah.
Yeah, he was known for that. So.
He's throwing sodas at Austin. It's like, okay, are you trying to get his attention? Do you want to fight him at the next?
And he's no selling. He wanted to be in the match apparently.
Oh Lord, no. We had enough of the Hart family in 1993.
Well, remember, he's still salty because he wanted to be the one that fought Brett instead of Owen.
Yeah.
When they had their feud in 94, 95.
Yeah. Do us a favor, Bruce. Just sit down. Just sit down. And at this point now, the only thing I didn't like was when Austin grabbed Stu Hart. It's an 80-something-year-old man. I'm just afraid that he's going to do something like grab him the wrong way or whatnot. But that's when the Hart family this is.
Well, that was why that was
it.
There. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when the riot ensued.
It was great. It was chaos.
completely. And during the chaos, Austin gets in the ring and Owen rolls him up for the 1, 2, 3, which to me was a little cheesy, but
Yeah, a
okay.
little bit, but what are you gonna do?
But that'll set up Owen and Austin going forward.
Hmm.
And so the Hart Foundation win, which you know they're going to. And what's funny
No.
is, well,
Oh, and the whole family comes in the ring.
oh, not even before that, you got Austin
Oh,
come
he comes
back
back
with a
out. He
chair,
comes back out.
gets
Yeah,
arrested,
yeah.
flips everybody off, which was
Right.
awesome. And
That
I've
was
said
good.
it: if you get arrested, you're in WWE at this point. But yeah, the whole Hart family comes in, and the only time I made a face is when I didn't really make a face was when Martha came in the ring. But it was
You
nice to
know,
see O's with Owen. What's his name? Blake with
Blade,
Brett.
Blade, his
Blade.
son Blade. Yeah.
And that's when they
Yeah.
mentioned that the Wrestling with Shadows documentary was being done.
And the King has a great line that Helen and Stu Hart are responsible for all of this because
Yes, they
the
are.
family that's why the children were born and the grandchildren, all these brothers and sisters, it's all from
They just kept
it goes
coming
to,
in.
yeah, that was a great line. That was hilarious.
Well, they have a lot of cold nights there in Calgary, so
Yeah. So
when
that
the
was
power goes out, what else you doing?
yeah. So great
But
stuff.
it was cool to again, like I said before, it was cool to see the kids with the parents. O's with Owen, Blade with Brett, and it was really nice to see all of that Vince said go ahead and do it, knock yourself out, and they all and I mean halfway through this thing when they're just about to go up there, they're still coming in the ring. That's why I said 17,000 fans, 9,000 of them got to be
Yeah.
Hart family
The Hart
members.
Clan, that was great stuff.
It really was. And like I said, this is one of my favorite in your houses. The main event was great, and the only thing that was probably disappointing on the night was the cruiserweight light heavyweight match. But other than that, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was solid. All right, well, you guys make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.
Take care.